Okay, there is a question that was sent to me, which I will go over later during this meeting. So for now, if you can just sit comfortably, welcome yourself, welcome your experience, rest as you are. You are this restful presence, which is not seeking anything, undisturbed presence. Whatever activities appear within this presence without disturbing the presence that you are, without disturbing awareness. All appearances have a certain form and shape, size, color. But reality is colorless, borderless, formless, infinite. And reality is the reality of everything. The reality of the world, the reality of the mind, the reality of the body. This reality is your reality. You are this reality, like the reality of a wave is water. The wave is water. There is no wave without water. Water is the substance of a wave. A wave appears, the body appears, the mind appears. The substance of the wave, water, does not appear. The substance of your perceptions. The substance of your body, meaning the substance of sensations, does not appear. When you overlook the infinite, borderless, formless, undeniable, transparent reality of awareness, you are mesmerized by appearances. You are mesmerized by thoughts, by sensations, by feelings, by objects, perceptions. And you seek the peace and happiness of being in those experiences, in the realm of thoughts, feelings, objects, fame, recognition, status. You believe your well-being depends on relationship, money, fame, being loved. And you hold on to these mirages, in vain, because you cannot hold on to a cloud. You cannot hold on to a thought, an image, a sensation, an object. You cannot hold on. Because there is not only no one to hold on, to grasp, but there is nothing which is not already your very self. The only way to hold on to something is to separate yourself from it first. Separating yourself is an imaginary separation. Can you separate yourself from the sensation of your feet on the ground? From the breath? From hearing these words? Separation is a belief, an unexamined assumption. Can you separate yourself from yourself? Can you separate yourself from the sky? Whatever the sky may be. Can you separate yourself from others without assuming that you are separate from others? First, you separate yourself conceptually. And then you take this conceptual separation for real. And then you take the salvation from this separation, which is a conceptual separation. You take the salvation from this separation for real. It's like in your dream, you imagine yourself to be a dream character. Then you imagine yourself being in the water and you don't know how to swim. And then you imagine yourself struggling with all your might to avoid drowning. But in this moment, is there any separation in your direct experience? Without reverting to thought and memory and beliefs and ideas in this moment, is there anything that we need to hold on to? If you're trying to hold on to a state, you already separated yourself from whatever. You have to separate yourself first, and then you seek. And you need to maintain this separation because the maintenance of the separation maintains you as the seeker. In love, in peace, in beauty, in wisdom, in truth, all is one. There is no identification as a woman, as a man, as a person. In this moment right now, that which perceives, that which hears is genderless, formless, boundaryless, undeniable. So the holding on, the grasping is a game we play. It is not truth, like when we were children and we played make believe. Whatever we imagined we were in the games we played. We enjoyed playing the make-believe game. Until we took it seriously. We got caught up in the winner and loser camp. Started to live as this make-believe character. Struggling with others, struggling in the game. In our mind, struggling to become somebody, to attain something, to escape, to fix something. We get wrapped up in the emotions of frustration, isolation, despair, regret, anger, envy. And we engage in crazy stuff, aggressive behavior, blaming, denying. But when we get a flash that, oh, we're we're playing in the garden. We're playing in the garden. These are my friends. We're having a good time together. There is nothing at stake. Yes. Then we realize that we are like children, the innocence of being joyful, free, creative, interactive, spontaneous, surprising, being joyfully surprised moment by moment. Hmm. And we awaken from the impression that we are such miserable, vulnerable creatures existing on this planet in a certain era, a certain period of time. That is not our experience, it's our belief. Our experience is this aware being. So we awaken from being wrapped up in the mind to being. You can let go. because God takes care of business. I think there is a saying, let go and let God. Let go and let God. Free fall in God's kingdom. Okay, so if you have any questions, anything you would like to explore, you're welcome. Make sure you unmute your mic and you're welcome to turn on your video. So any questions? Hello, Holger.
Hi, Magdi.
I don't hear you. Let me see.
1, 2, 3.
Is your...
I can hear him.
Can you hear me, Marco?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I hear you also, Holger.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Test, test.
Not sure if you hear me.
I hear you.
Anybody hears Holger?
Yes.
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 So
I hear-
it must
I
be
hear.
here.
Yes.
You know, can somebody else say something? Nathan?
I hear Holger.
Oh, I
yes.
cannot hear
And
you. Okay, wait a minute. There must be something here.
I hear Holger.
Oh, now I hear Holger.
2, 3.
Oh, yes. What happened?
Yes. Thank you, Magdi. Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay. Yes.
I have 2 things on my mind. I just remember some months ago a friend saying, oh, he hesitates to speak up because this meeting is recorded.
Oh,
It's later on YouTube, just as an idea, just to have it floating in the sky. And then another point is just, it's so precious to have this opportunity to come out of this me bubble and to ask a question or to clarify. And even though after meditation, there's not much question on my mind, I just wanted to appreciate express my gratitude for this opportunity.
yes.
It's, for me, it's priceless because you cannot get it anywhere.
Yeah.
You cannot go to a supermarket and talk to the checkout lady or go to a therapist. It's here, it's free, it's open, there's love. And just wanted to share this.
Yes, yes, Holger. This is a meeting of friends, you know. I mean, in other circumstances, the same friends will get together and, you know, have a cup of tea together or go for a walk together. It's just that we are in different, you know, we're meeting virtually. So there are, of course, the limitations of, or maybe it's not limitation, this is the format. So, of course, when we are in presence of each other, in the physical presence of each other, you know, we can hug, we can touch each other, we can notice each other's body language, and we can giggle together, we can feel uncomfortable together, the whole. So yes, under different circumstances, we would be meeting in person, as a way of saying, way of speaking. And no one has, we don't have to ask a question or share something. It's an open, you know, forum. Of course, if you have a question, this is your opportunity to explore your question. There's no one judging anyone here, as far as I know. There's no contest. But when you're ready for the question will arise. Maybe it's like the ripening of the blooming of a flower, when the circumstances have unfolded in such a way, then there is the blooming, you see. Maybe it's the same way with posing a question. And you are there, you are the key player, you as awareness are the key player and the only player. So when you are playing with yourself, you're speaking to yourself and you're hearing yourself. And you can experiment with putting your toes in the water, sort of like a snail, like sort of exploring very, very, very tentatively whether it could slide just a millimeter out of its shell, sort of sniff the air, sense outside of the shell, the temperature, the wind, how it feels. So you can experiment. Stick your hand out of the imagine it.
And to see that there's nothing at stake.
Yes.
Only freedom.
Yes.
To gain, to find.
Yes. Well, first, this is a group of friends, so this is a good environment to facilitate your exploring. In time, your exploration, your understanding will go beyond just this group of friends. The freedom, the peace, the well-being that you experience, you will find it available to you, but under all circumstances. It may take some time, but who cares? We can do what we can now. The recording, it's interesting. I heard somewhere recently that the scientists were doing experiments on what do we recollect from our experience. And in spite of the fact that the experiments were like pretty sophisticated, there were like 30 minutes or 20 minutes of various experiences, video, sounds, activities. When they collected the data, they found that we recollect mainly two things. We recollect the high point, whichever way we experience it, each one of us differently. And we recollect the last impression out of millions of perceptions, thoughts, sensations, feelings over the 20 minutes. We recollect two things. So don't worry about how people perceive you. They only recollect two things. So when people watch a video, it's the same thing. Anyways, in terms of the recordings of these meetings, there are less than 30, 40 people anyways that watch them. And most of them are very friendly people. So you're okay. You can go for it.
Thank you, Magdi.
Yes. I have not won the popularity contest yet.
First the quality, then the quantity.
I remember when I was in the anti-war movement in the late 70s, I was much more popular. Anyways, just
Yes.
joking.
I'm grateful that you're not more popular, otherwise it would be crowded here. So it's nice.
Yeah.
And there's anyway only one awareness.
Absolutely. Any questions? So I will address the question that Lucas had sent me. Thank you for sending it over. So I will read it, yeah? Hi, I'd like to ask for some feedback. I recently had a strange, weird, but very beautiful experience. I am quite new to all the Advaita stuff, half a year, and I can't compare it with anything I know. This experience lasted for a couple of hours. My mind, my thoughts, the past, memory melted in a way they weren't me anymore. But I still existed, yet not as a person. It was the most beautiful feeling I know. I felt perfectly safe and loved. Nothing could go wrong. Later, I understood that I didn't disappear that moment. I've never been that human. I saw that all my past wasn't about me. In fact, it didn't happen in a way. And it didn't exist now, except in my memory. Later, I realized that since there is no me, then there is no other people. Like Nisargadatta said, only threads of memories and habits, just fully convinced to be people. I looked outside the window and saw that everything is alive, everything. Stones, trees, sidewalks were slightly vibrating. The surface we see with our eyes doesn't matter. Everything is not even alive, it is life, looking like objects. And there is also that terrible, common, shared mass hypnosis, all the social network we have created, countries, nations, history, all of these happened only in our mind. But it's gone. One stupid quarrel with some ass being fully surprised that my dog barks was enough to pull me back into the person, into memory, feeling that I had to defend myself and all that personal mess. Please feel free to write whatever you think. I'm stuck, blah, blah. Was it some real glimpse or was it just imagination? If it's real, how can it be gone? Maybe it's not gone. Maybe it's just veiled again. Who is it to try to get it back, and who should let it go? In fact, I can't let it go. It was so beautiful, so true, so me. I already have tears in my eyes when I think those hours are not coming back. I can't forget it, and I don't want to. Well, very, very, very beautiful, very lovely. Don't worry about not forgetting it, because it does not forget you. So yes, this what you are sharing here, Lucas, is a glimpse in your true nature. In the glimpse, we see that there is no separate me, that I'm not a person, I've never been a person, and that all is one, and that there is a reality. That reality is what you refer to as it is life. You say it is life, appearing like objects. Yes, there is a reality. I still am, but I am not a human. I am as being, but I am not a human. I'm not a limited human. So yes, this is a glimpse into truth, into reality, into a break into the shell, into the eggshell, and the light of truth shines through the shell, and the light of wisdom, this experiential insight into truth, is you cannot forget it. It is not stored in memory. What is stored in memory is a narrative about the experience. What is stored in memory is a rendition or a caricature or a narrative about the glimpse. Because the glimpse takes you beyond the mind. There is no mind in the glimpse. It is pure awareness, pure understanding. And it's not an understanding that is made out of words and concepts. It's an understanding that is experiential. So the mind, in fact, is not present during a glimpse. But the mind is affected by the glimpse. Like understanding, the mind is affected by the understanding. You may be under the impression for the 2 + 2 = 5, but once there is the understanding, the mind is affected by the understanding that, in fact, 2 + 2 = 4. The mind is no longer the same before the understanding that 2 + 2 = 4. The mind was in a certain state. And after the understanding, the mind is in a different state. So as a result of the glimpse, the mind is transformed. And there can be a narrative about the glimpse, but the narrative about the glimpse is not the glimpse. Like when you try to describe the taste of a mango, the description, even if it's a very, very detailed description of the taste of the mango, it is not the taste of the mango. So you don't need to remember, because remembering is at the mind level. The mind operates in concepts, images. It's just like a pinball game, you know. It's a ball that's bouncing, going ping, boom, boom, ping, like that. The mind operates in concepts, in sounds, sound bites, or images, flashes or electromagnetic energy. The mind is that, which is not a problem. I am not being critical of the mind. I'm just basically pointing that the mind is a phenomena that you can observe. You observe thoughts. You observe creative images. You perceive. So the mind is perceived. So it's in a way, it is objective. The mind is objective. But the experience of reality is non-objective. It's beyond objects, as you say, the trees, the stones, the sidewalks, they were all transformed and they became life, they're life, looking like objects. Now, the glimpse into reality is the entry into the path. So it is the initiation into the path. It is not the end game, but it is irreversible process of being initiated in the brotherhood. Now you mentioned how some stupid quarrel about dog or whatever, you know, something got you back into the punching gloves, you know. Because there is still the feeling state. Now there is the understanding that I am not a body I'm perceiving. I am not the objects that I'm perceiving. The reality is beyond those objects. It's not an objective reality. You have a deep understanding, experiential understanding that reality is not objective. But in spite of that, within our life, our habits, our way of how we have been living up to now, there are some habitual tendencies. So now the exploration is more where the rubber meets the road. So you are now in the situation where somebody speaks to you the wrong way, you get upset, to see that in that moment of being upset, you are reverting back to I am Lucas. In that moment, you are reverting to how can you treat me this way or speak to me this way, or you are back to me, Lucas. But so it's simple to you have to notice that, okay, this is the old model. The old model of I am a mortal body mind, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to be loved? Am I going to be successful? Am I going to be in a great relationship? I'm going to have a lot of money. Is my body going to be healthy forever? Blah, blah, blah. And you have to see that old model is not completely gone, but you know, like when a boat or when a plane is arriving to land, it starts to slow down 40 miles, 20 miles, slowly. It can't just stop like that. It's not gonna shut off the engines. Or like when a big boat arrives to the port, about 10 nautilus miles, it puts in reverse or whatever it does, but still it continues to move. So similarly, the image I use in the Indian tradition is the fan. When you unplug the fan, the blades continue to turn. So the good thing is you don't want to plug the fan again. You don't want to say, okay, I'm going to punch you in the face. Then he punches you back. Then they call the police. Then you have to go to court. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You know? You don't want to plug back the fan. Then don't worry about the blades of the fan turning. Simply don't plug back the fan. And it's always in the moment. It's always in the moment. Somebody tells you, you're stupid. You know, what you said is really stupid and I hate you for that. It's at that moment that you have an opportunity. So now your life is a life full of opportunities. Now, sometimes when we have a glimpse, maybe not sometimes, maybe often, we want to go back to that glimpse. Meaning the mind creates a beautiful psychedelic image and says, if I don't experience that again, I'm not going to be happy. Because the mind is a junkie. It always wants something. Give me a fix. Give me something. You have to see that. The mind is going to arise you and is going to convince you. You know what, Lucas? You're a real mess. You need to get back that experience that you had, 6 months ago. I've met a lot of people like that. They're trying to, for years, trying to recapture an experience that they had. They don't understand that this experience served its function. It served its function. You don't need to go back to remember again. Is 2 + 2 equal 4? You don't need to go back to again and again to feel, oh, I got it, 2 + 2 equal 4. No, it served its purpose. This experience served its purpose. You have to let it go. It's already, as I said, remember you. You don't need to remember it, it remembers you. It's already served its function. So when you are want to achieve an experience, you have separated yourself. But in the present, now, there is no separation. In this moment, all is well. There is nothing we are seeking. But then we think, then the thought arises, well, what about blah, 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 blah. Oh, and I'm not feeling this and that and that and that, you say. And so then thought will come and will veil being. Thought arises and veils presence. And so you no longer, like an image on the screen, you see an image on the screen, it's a fire. You don't, supposedly, you don't see the screen anymore. But in fact, you are looking at the screen. So the thoughts and the feelings, they arise and they veil the peace of being. The peace of being, or reality, is not a phenomenal experience. A glimpse in our true nature is not a phenomenal experience. A phenomenal experience is you drink a big glass of tequila and you feel like you are flying in the heaven and you are an angel or a butterfly. That's a phenomenal experience. But a glimpse into the illusion of the person and a glimpse into the I am, but I am not an object, is not a phenomenal experience. The mind is always seeking phenomenal experiences. It wants a state. It wants a feeling. It wants a sensation. It wants something that lasts 20 years, 100 years, 1,000 years. It wants something, right? But you as being, as presence, this moment, you are, I am, not I am something, somebody, I am. Just I am. Just I am. So when you say, was it some real glimpse or just imagination? A real glimpse. If it's real, how can it be gone? It's not gone. The mind says it is an experience. It is a mind state, and the mind state is gone. But the glimpse is not phenomenal. It's not an experience. It's not a phenomenal experience. Yes. Who is it to try to get it back? Absolutely. Whenever you are trying to get something back, you must be separate from it. So you separate yourself. You have to separate yourself. Because if you don't separate yourself in this moment, you're not separate. But then you say, oh, wait a minute, there is an experience. So you create the mind. I mean, it creates an image, an experience. And, oh, I need this experience. So then you say, I don't have this experience, I need this experience. This process is the process, a conceptual process, a mental process that registers as a feeling, you see. It's not just pie in the sky, it's also a feeling. So then we get wrapped up in the feeling, oh, darn, I feel heavy. So you have to, don't try to fix the feeling. Don't become a feeling fixer. This is how, what is it in Christianity? They say the devil temptation, the devil. This is how the temptation is in the feeling. You feel, oh, I'm feeling. And then you just like, it becomes like a snowball feeling. Don't worry about the feeling. The feeling is a sensation. Sensation. It's passing sensation. Everything that appears to you, boom, dissolves second by second. But we don't know this is dissolving, that is disappearing moment by moment. Instead, we say, no. It's continuing. It is continuing. But even now, every sound that you're hearing is not continuing. It's a new sound. It's not, but the mind says, no, it's continuing And that which is continuing is it's me. I am continuing. I am continuing. But in fact, there is nothing continuing. It's appearing and disappearing second by second. The only thing that is eternal is presence, awareness. And that is not in time. You cannot say it's continuing. You cannot say it's 50 billion years. We use the term eternal. I use the term eternal, meaning not in time. Doesn't mean a long time. Eternal doesn't mean a long time. It means not in time. So anyways, thank you for your question, Lucas. It's
Thank you. Thank you for today. I will listen this again from recording and
yes.
it will help. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Lucas, beautiful. Thank you. Any questions?
Magdi,
Yes, hello, Mina.
hello. I wanted only to thank you very, very much. At the moment, I have no questions. It's like you said before, something is ripening inside, and I'm listening and listening and listening over and over again. And but I'm very thankful for all the other questions, because when you answer them, it is like you answer also in me all the things that are working. And so I'm very thankful for everyone's questions. And I'm also very thankful for being together and sharing this, because it's at the moment the only thing that really matters. All other things are really not important, as you say. All is passing, 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 and there's really only this seeing, this being aware of all and remaining quiet. But I'm very thankful for this coming together, and it's very helpful also to share this, because in this life, it's not easy to share this with. You cannot share this with all people. There, I'm working. I'm doing all that I have to do, but I'm very thankful for all the people who are with this, and I'm very thankful for you and for your guidance and help.
Yes, we share not just how we come together here, but in our life, how we live, how we interact, how we listen, how we respond, how we perceive, how we think. All of that is being shared, because we're always together as one. So the sharing is ongoing in how we answer the phone, how we answer the door when somebody's delivering a package, how we drive on the road. So the coming together here, of course, is very, very sweet and very insightful. But it's then a part of our life, and then our life carries that, that. So we don't remain in the cave. We don't remain in the temple. We don't remain on the Himalaya mountain in the monastery. We are in the village. We are living life moment by moment. In the Zen tradition, they speak about the ox herding, the 10 ox herding pictures. Anyways, some of you may be familiar with that. That we start by perceiving the ox, and then we follow the traces of the ox, and then at some point we catch the ox, we tame the ox, we ride the ox, and the last ox herding picture is we are back in the village. We are back in the village. There used to be a great Zen, I think they call them masters, or Roshi, teacher, or not really teacher, Zen master. And he, at the end of his life, he was selling watermelon in the market. It's just playing with the children and talking with the clients, customers, giving them a slice of watermelon. I like watermelon. So life there's no separation, in life. So that, life becomes not just the garden where we play, but also where we express our sweet way of playing, our sweet nature. And that's really beautiful when you are playing and the person you're playing with is playing fair, fair and with fun, for fun and joyfully. We are those children, you see. So we need to not be watchful, not to make anything special. about anything, because everything is special, and everything has a touch of God to it, in it. And so then we have compassion, we have understanding, and we is sort of interacting, an interaction, but you're not in the world, but you're not subject, you're not in the emotions, you're not caught up in by the what you perceive. You know? It's not drama. Sometimes we see the world as very dramatic. In a way, it is from one perspective, but from the perspective of reality, it's doesn't have too much substance outside of consciousness. It's like when you go to the planetarium, a planetarium, you is a place you look at all the stars and the galaxies on the dome. It seems to be, but it's just the dome. The world is like that. The universe is like that. Its reality is I consciousness. So yeah, you are intimately connected with everybody in your life, how you walk, how you talk, how you open the door, how you answer the phone. It has far-reaching effects that the mind cannot grasp and will never grasp, because it's consciousness to consciousness.
Yes, this reminds me of the saying of Ramana Maharshi when he was asked, how can we help others? And then he said, there are no others.
Right.
Yes, I feel very, very strong. And in the moment, really, I see how life unfolds every moment, very fresh and very new. And I come in every situation, and it's like life plays out itself what has to be done in this situation.
Yes.
And I feel always it is done with love and with compassion and with in the right way. As you say, it rings at the door, and I answer, and there is always a loving and beautiful
Yes.
relation.
Mm.
So I don't see in this kind separation, between these moments with you here and these moments outside,
Yes.
at work or in town or wherever I am. But for this contemplation of this truth,
Yes.
it is not possible to speak with everyone about this. And it has not to be spoken with everyone.
Yes.
This is not necessary.
Yes. Well, we speak with everyone by how we are, and also we speak whenever somebody has a question about life, truth, their relationships, whatever, you can speak. But in a relationship, the sort of sense, it's not about yourself, it's the relationship. It's not about what you know or what I know, it's about the relationship. So it's sort of, sensing what sort of opening there is, in the relationship, in the conversation. You can sense, like, sometimes, you take a step forward and you feel the door is closing. So then, okay, tranquilo, you don't need to, So it's alive. It's alive. Sometimes you say something that's sort of non-dual to somebody that you don't know too well, and you find that, oh, there is an interest, and so you go a step further, and the interest is still there. Then, but you're not teaching. You're just exploring. You're sharing. You're sharing. You're also listening. It's not. So it's surprising. It has surprised me on many occasions how my initial impression about people not being open. In fact, it's amazing how, because in a way, we are all at some level or the other interested in happiness. We all are. Some of us have very rigid ideas. Oh, no, it's this way. No, it's that way. No, it's not this way. Okay, but still we are all interested in happiness, the same. So sometimes there's a little art in conversation. It's sort of like dancing, you step this way, they move that way, then you have to step with them like a dance, sort of. Sometimes you're following and sometimes you're leading. I'm not a very good dancer, but yeah.
Yes, beautiful.
I remember there was a period in my path where I was like insensitive, I was sort of, I guess I was really so excited, wanted to sort of share, no matter who, no matter where. Took a while to see through this pattern. Life responds to you. It tells you, yeah, I love it. Sometimes it tells you, no. You have to listen. We don't like when life says no. We want to say yes, keep saying yes. But we learn when life says no, then we take a look, wait a minute, okay, life is saying no. So I take a look and you learn, it's part of the maturity, learning. Then you know how to live. The life adjusts you. It adjusts you. It tells you this way, that way. Okay, not this way, not. So we're not forcing onto life our wisdom. No. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Nina. Lovely to chat with you. Yes. Oh, yes, Frank. There is a desire to save people, but they're already saved. Yes. There is, everybody is God's, we're all God's children equally. And, you know, we speak, we share our understanding. Sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's not interesting. For some it seems to be interesting. For some others, it may not be interesting. But it's okay. It's isn't there? Nothing absolute about it, you know. And yes, we are all, as you say, we're all already that. Most of us are unknowingly that. When you are knowingly that, nothing has changed. You always wear an earth hat, but yet there's a big change. It's like the gateless gate, you know. It's like you step through the gateless gate, but wait, where is the gate, you know? and yet there is such a thing as the gateless gate, but the understanding is, it's just an understanding. It's an understanding that first it's understanding it at the reason level, and then the understanding at the feeling experiential level. It's like you are standing by the ocean, but you're facing the land. You're not facing, your back is to the ocean. You hear the ocean, you hear the waves, you smell the ocean breeze, you hear the seagulls. You are at the ocean, of course, but when you turn and then you see the ocean, you know, that's a metaphor. We all are at the ocean shore. Mostly we are looking our back to the ocean. And we speak about the ocean because we know the ocean. As a metaphor, we are this happiness. We are that. But because we haven't seen the ocean, we're describing a second hand about the taste of the mango, but we haven't tasted the mango. We know it's like an orange and maybe papaya, a mixture of an orange and papaya. It's but when you taste the mango, anyways, it's all, there are metaphors, of course. Yeah. Captain might enjoy looking at the land, smelling the ocean. Yes. Okay. Thank you all. Lovely to be with you, Alan, Richard, Fernando, Mina.
Thank you.
Thank you. Trish, Frank, hey Frank, Nathan, Lucas, Holger, Malcolm, Zoe, George, and George, Grace, Walter, Raul, Emmanuel, hola Emmanuel, Jenny, and Desmond. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Magdi, thank you.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you, Maggie. Beautiful. This one.